Ejiofor, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, lead lawyer to the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has raised the alarm over the brutality meted out of the IPOB or out to the IPOB leader by the operatives of the Department State Service DSS, which has kept him in custody. Ejiofor, who gave the updates during his routine visit to Kanu in DSS custody in Abuja on Monday, said that Kanu had been denied his medication for the past 4 days despite court order to make sure he had access to his medication regularly. So what are they going to gain from that again? What are they going to gain? Release this man. He said no. Court said he has been vindicated. He said no. Now, to give him his medication, is that a problem? How many Boko Haram are you treating like this that we even know? That we know? How many are you treating like this? When people talk now, they'll begin to say, these people are this, these people are that. Now, the man has won in court. If he had not gone through that court process, they will say, oh, they want to use a political whatever, that will not work. Let him face the law. Let him face the law. Now he has faced the law. The law said, release him. It's not a problem. Okay, give him his medication. It's not a problem. Ejiofor said the DSS has upgraded their psychological routine torture of Oyendu. As he narrated to me today, it is a fact that's on record that Oyendu has been denied medication for the past 4 days. This inhumane treatment and grievous mental torture has consistently triggered an excruciating pains associated with chronic ulcer and heartburn, which Oyendu has equally been diagnosed of. In addition to other life-threatening health conditions that Oyendu is currently battling with. Today, 7th of November 2022, marks it with the 4th day that Oyendu is denied of his routine medication, and despite several protestations by Oyendu, which obviously fell on the deaf ears of the lawless DSS, they have maintained a stone-hearted stance on not to providing Oyendu with his requisite routine medication. They are working on order. Giving more updates on Kanu's detention after the October 13th appeal court ruling that discharged and acquitted the IPOB leader. Ejiofor said, we visited Oyendu on the 7th of November 2022 at the DSS headquarters, Abuja, to specifically brief him on the status of the pending appeal before the Supreme Court, as well as bring to his noble attention that our legal team, immediately led by Chief Mike Ezekome, has equally filed a cross appeal wherein we are inviting the Supreme Court to review certain aspects of the court appeal judgments being appealed against. Oyendu was also informed that the federal government of Nigeria has ostensibly abandoned their appeal as the time allowed for them to file their appellant's brief is at the verge of elapsing, with no sign in sight that they are ready to take the bull by the horn. Other far-reaching strategies agreed upon to ensure that we give the federal government of Nigeria a hot chase for their incompetent appeal will remain private. Be that as it may, the routine visit afforded me the opportunity to carefully listen to Oyendu's complaint over his deteriorating health condition. The DSS is now indirectly awaiting the unthinkable to happen to Oyendu, but God forbid. The word is hereby remind once again that Oyendu Nnamdi Kanu has since on the 13th day of October 2020 been legally discharged and acquitted of all frivolous and bogus allegations contained in the hitherto 7-count amended charge framed against him by the federal government of Nigeria, which small screen charge has equally been struck out by the Court of Appeal and laid to everlasting rest. What we find very disturbing and inconceivable to comprehend is why federal government has refused to obey court order by a court of a competent jurisdiction, which directed them to immediately release Oyindu. Rather, the federal government has openly treated the court orders with greatest disdain and impunity. Our current demand to the DSS is simple. Oyindu should be allowed access to his personal physician as was long ordered by the Federal High Court, Abuja. But Buhari is in UK, not even in Nigeria, be attended to by his doctor. He's been taken care of in the UK. Is that not a wickedness? The lawless DSS has remained adamant and contained to unnecessarily subject Oyendu to inhumane forbidden treatment, and this is totally unacceptable. We are likewise placing the world on notice that should anything untoward happen to Oyendu, the world should hold the federal government of Nigeria and the Director General of the DSS fully responsible should any harm befall Oyendu. Nevertheless, our formidable legal team, eminently led by an indefatigable legal icon, Chief Michael Zekome SNA, has already swung into action to legally address this lawless and reprehensible conduct by the DSS, and be assured that no courts in Nigeria will sanction this obvious acts of executive lawlessness and recklessness. Oyendu also seized the opportunity presented by the visit to express his profound gratitude to Umuchineke for standing firm with him in this trying period. He is very delighted with your peaceful and exemplary conduct thus far. Oyendu continues to urge you all to remain focused and law-abiding as you have been always been, particularly now that we are exiting the tunnel. Be assured that if it shall surely end in praises, Umochineke, as the federal government has played their final card, which strategy is on arrival. Oh, yeah, that is it. That is it. Well, this is the wickedness at its peak. Wickedness, like I said, at its peak because they don't have direction. Malami, Buhari, they have no direction at all, and that is why it has taken them more than 1 year. More 1 year, they will add to the charges. They will remove some charges, and they have to is they are just there. But I don't know to what extent, how far they want to go with this whole thing. How many months remaining for them to go? So they want to hand over to another person. I'm sure maybe anybody that they want to hand over to, they will tell the person not to release Nnamdi Kanu. Another government that might want to take over, but we keep our finger crossed. But that is just the latest now with the DSS attitude towards Nnamdi Kanu.